Hello and welcome to my new video. Today we're going to play on a Minecraft server and cheat on it, because I'm gonna use XRAY. Now just speedrunning for the quickest time to get banned is for another time, but I'm gonna try to complete a few tasks before I get banned. So let's just hop into the video. Okay, so step 1 was to try and find a good server that has admins on and doesn't have this horrible X-ray prevention texture pack. Then, after a long search, I finally found a server that didn't have the texture pack to prevent X-ray. I checked if there was any step online, because I wanted to know, because it was very important for the video. I decided to type it, but unfortunately, already one player was onto me. I didn't want to get caught straight away, so I decided to type this. You know, not the best argument. He was saying stuff like, I used to be like this, please don't do it. But I decided to keep myself cool and not interact too much with the players. But unfortunately, this player didn't leave it there and decided to type something again in chat. In the first place, I was going to reply to his allegations, but I decided to not do this because it could have made things worse for me. And I decided that I was maybe ready to start playing the survival and getting ready for step 2. But before we are going to get started with step 2, I need to explain the tasks I want to complete before getting banned. First task, I want to give away 3 diamonds. Second task, I want to make a house. Third task, I want to talk to the owner and say to him that I'm X-raying in some sort of way. And for the last task, I want to make a friend. I decided to gather some materials and just started X-raying immediately. Because I needed some diamonds and stuff to get started. I need some great armor, so I just X-rayed for I don't know how long. When I was done mining, I decided to craft me my precious diamond armor. But then I found a command that would change this challenge forever. I found out that players had shops, and when I joined a certain shop, I found out that it sold me books. So I could easily get great enchantments for just doing nothing. I didn't have enough resources at the time to trade with the villagers, but something else happened. Someone of the staff team joined, a helper. I didn't know exactly if the helper role could grant you the commands to go in game mode 3 and go invisible, but I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna hop back into the mines and check if he can. After my quick mining session, I decided to go back to the spawn and check if there was even a lot of staff members. So I checked and I saw 2 helpers, and one was already online, the Forgotten Fire one. I saw a mod and 2 other helpers, and there I saw the owner. Then I found a little XP farm from some player, but I didn't expect that this player would be a staff member. Then I found out that he had an enchantment table, so I used that, and he had a shop where he sold mending. Immediately I bought a book, and then I came to the conclusion that this base and this XP farm was from the only staff member online. I decided to go back to those villagers and trade with them a bit to get some emeralds and hopefully to get the book eventually. I found a free to use cow farm, so I decided to kill some cows, chickens and pigs for food and, more importantly, for leather so I could buy a book and eventually get the fortune tree enchantment. When I put all the enchantments on my pickaxe, I found a player and gave the player some free diamonds, but I didn't feel like the diamonds I gave them were enough to say that one task has been completed. Now that I had my newly enchanted pickaxe, I thought it would have been nice if I maybe did some X-raying again. I was already a few hours in this challenge, so I really wanted to complete one task, so I decided to build a house. And ignore my build skills, please. When I had placed all the blocks in my inventory, I needed more blocks to build with, so I decided to go back on XRAY. When I've gotten all the blocks, I decided to finish this ugly ass house. And I especially built this house far away from spawn and other locations because I didn't want to mess with the server too bad because I'm only gonna play for a little and I didn't want to ruin other people's fun. When I was done building this house, I was happy because I could finally mark one of the tasks. I was becoming kind of bored, so I decided to just write that I'm using X-ray all over my walls. But then, when I was not paying attention, something caught me off guard. And I could never predicted this. The owner was sitting at my base, reading literally my confession to saying that I'm using X-ray. I immediately sent it, oh crap, as a joke. I think he kind of took it as a joke because, I mean, he doesn't have any evidence that I'm actually using X-ray. But I guess I can mark another one on my task list because I told the owner in some way that I'm using X-ray. Now that I have succeeded in completing the hardest task and hoping that the owner took these signs as a joke, I thought, I'll just finish you all. I was now halfway done with this challenge, but I kept in mind that I did need to complete 2 more tasks. One of them was giving away free diamonds, and I thought maybe it's the best and subtle way to do it through shops. So I went to the admin space to look how to make a shop. When I gathered all the information that I needed to make a shop, I went back to my base and made one. Unfortunately, in the beginning it was a real struggle for me because I did something wrong, but in the end it worked and I have made 3 shops and actually 3 shops and 1 mistake or 2 mistakes. When I made my shop, I needed to get attention from people immediately so that they could buy from my shop, so they could buy my free diamonds, but I didn't want to put it in the global chat because the admins and other staff members could read it, so I decided to do it through private commands so I could talk to a person without the admin seeing it. At first my tactic didn't work at all, nobody was joining, but when one person joined my base, the news was spreading fast. And in no time I got a few players buying my whole shop. They bought my free diamonds so fast that I needed to do a restock immediately, so I told them and went back on some X-raying. But I totally forgot that the owner himself was online, so before I knew it, I got TP'd to the jail. But now that I was in jail, I saw a lot of players looking at me, laughing at me, so I decided to give him some stuff that is in my inventory, like blaze rods, rocks, and the owner did not like that at all. But then a player came to me, and I thought that his name sounded a bit familiar. Apparently he was one of the players that I gave 3 diamonds to, and he wanted to help me get out of jail. And we did this through books. But unfortunately, someone called Big Mac Boy kept stealing our books. And because I was muted, I could only communicate through the books, so this was a big problem to plan my escape. If you are curious to what me and Fnortunik had wrote in these books, I've put a little clip of this so you guys can read it if you were curious. If you are not, feel free to skip this part. Now, this part is an important part because Fnortunik had advised me to go to the Discord server and open a ticket so they could unjail me. And I have footage of talking to the owner and another staff member. Now that I have been jailed, the only question that remains is, did I fail the challenge or did I succeed? Let's see. Technically, I failed because I was jailed before I made a friend. But I did make a friend while I was in jail, so to me, this counts as a win. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and a sub, and then I'll see you in the next one.